Hello friends, welcome back once again in the video lecture series of data communication and networking. Today I am going to teach you unit number 3. Its name is data modems, and under this data modems I am going to teach you about shift keying. Basically there are three types of shift keying: ASK, FSK and PSK. We will talk all these in detail. This is my name and my designation. So before going deeper into the section, let's talk about what are the important contents that I am going to take in this video. First of all, I will going to teach you about digital modulation techniques. After that, I'll teach you about amplitude shift keying, that is also known as your ASK. After that, I will little bit introduce about ASK modulator. What is ASK modulator? Then I will teach you about frequency shift keying, which is also known as FSK. FSK modulator will be discussed next. After that, I will also teach you about PSK, that is also known as phase shift keying. And in phase shift keying, I will concentrate on binary phase shift keying modulator. After discussing all the above points, I will discuss about the summary, and I will provide you good references, books, URL, and so let's talk about digital modulation technique. So digital modulation technique basically provides information capacity, that means large information capacity as compared to the analog modulation. It is having higher data security, and moreover it is quicker system availability, and which gives the high quality communication, right? So basically digital modulation technique is highly demanded when we are used to transmit large amount of data. At that time it is better than analog technique. So there are many types of digital modulation technique, and their various combinations also depends upon our need. So first of all is your ASK. ASK is also known as amplitude shift keying, right? So what is amplitude shift keying? The amplitude of the resultant output depends upon the input data. So whatever the amplitude of the resultant output that we are getting through this keying is depending upon the input data, right? Whether it is at zero level or a variation of positive or negative. So it totally depends upon, see, we are having three types of amplitude, whether it is at zero level, whether the amplitude is positive or negative. So all these are depending upon the input data, right? Okay, so some more important about digital modulation technique is your FSK. FSK is also known as your frequency shifting key. Frequency shift keying is basically deals with the frequency of the output with either low or high, which is depending upon the input data applied. So instead of amplitude, here we are depending upon the frequency of the output signal. So what is PSK? PSK is also known as phase shift keying. So the phase of the output signal gets shifted, which is depends upon the input, right? So in this, the output signal is depending upon the phase of the input. There are many of two types, that is PSK. One is known as your binary phase shifting key, which is also known as BPSK, and second one is your quadrature phase shifting key, which is also known as QPSK. And basically these are depending upon the according to their phase shifting, right? Okay, fine. Apart from these two, some more PSKs are also available, although these are not all in your course, but you should know at least the different types of PSK. Next one is your differential PSK, that is also known as your DPSK, right? And it is basically it changes the phase according to the previous value, right? Okay, next let us talk about Emery coding, right? So in Emery encoding, it is a technique, or there are methods where more than two bits are made transmit simultaneously on a signal. See, while multiplexing, it is to be concerned that we should able to transmit more than one bits at a time. So for the Emery encoding is widely used in these type of transmission. It helps in the reduction of bandwidth. So it reduces the difference between the maximum and minimum bandwidth. So there are some several Emery techniques. First is your Emery ASK, that is amplitude shift keying. Second one is your Emery FSK, that is your frequency shift keying, and next one is your Emery PSK. That means in each and every shift keying process Emery encoding is being used. So let us discuss about first ASK in detail, that is known as your amplitude shift keying. So it is a type of amplitude modulation which represents the binary data in the form of variation in the amplitude of the signal. So basically amplitude shift keying is concerned with the amplitude of the signal. That means the output of the signal, the amplitude of the output signal will be totally depending upon what is the input data that we are providing, right? So any modulated signal has a higher frequency carrier. That means its signal is much more higher than analog communication or analog modulation. The binary signal, when ASK modulated, gives the zero value for low input and gives the higher value for carrier output, right? This is very important, right? Whenever you want to go for low input, it will assign 0 and it will assign 1 for the high input. So the figure which I am going to discuss right now is your good representation of your ASK modulated waveform, right? So this is the input that we are providing, right? This is the input binary sequence. This is 0, this is 1. So this is 1, this is 0. Again it will be 0, it will be 1, it will be 0, and again it will be 1 for some times, right? Then again it will be 0, it will be 1. And when you will translate, when you will try to translate it into the through the amplitude shift keying, so the output signal will behave like this. And here this is showing the amplitude, right? This is showing the amplitude. Again this is the showing the amplitude. So here it is 0, here it is 1 amplitude, here again it is 0, here it is 1 again amplitude, right? Okay, fine. So let us talk something about ASK modulator, right? So basically ASK modulator block diagram comprises a carrier signal generator, which is the binary sequence from the message signal to the band limited filter. So I will just show you what is the ASK modulator and block diagram in the next slide. So basically it comprises that for the carrier signal generator, the binary sequence of the message and the band limited filter, right? Okay. So basically it is used to send high frequency carrier, right? Basically it is used for sending high frequency carrier. So the binary sequence from the message signal makes the unipolar input either high or low. So whatever the message signal we are having, the binary sequence is extracted from the message signal and makes it in the unipolar input. Either whether it is low or high, it doesn't matter at all, but it should be in the form of unipolar input only. Okay. The high signal closes the switch, allows the carrier waves. That means whenever you closes the switch, it will allow the high signal carrier wave. The output will be carrier signal as a high input, right? Whenever you will close the switch, then the output will be the carrier signal at the high input, right? And when there is a low input, if the input will be low, the switch should be open. That means when the input is high, we don't have to switch on, right? Switch on circuit will be only, that means ASK modulator switch on only in that situation when there is a low input, and when it is not able to uh, pass through transmit through the transmission channel by its own, right? Okay, at that time there will be no voltage at all, hence the output will be low. Clear? Okay, fine. The band limiting filter shapes the pulse, right, which is depending upon amplitude and the phase characteristics. So What is band limiting filter does? It is depending upon that first of all amplitude and phase both, right? The characteristics of band limiting filter or pulse shape filter. Basically, this depending upon the pulse and amplitude characteristics both, right? Okay. So as if I have told you about block diagram of ASK modulator, here is the block diagram of ASK modulator. Here we can easily see one thing, that this is our sinusoidal carrier, right? It is in the analog signal, that is in the waveform, and by applying this ASK generator method, we will be having unipolar binary sequence of this particular message, right? This is the switch which is given to us, and switch on and off is depending upon what is the input signal that we are, what is the input data, what is the input signal in terms of message is being transmitted from one place to another place. So according to that, our output will behave. So this is the ASK output, that is band limited. What is ASK? That is the amplitude shift keying. I think so this figure will be quite clear to you. So next talk about frequency shift keying. So what is the speciality about frequency shift keying? Basically it depends upon your frequency. See, so the definition, it is the digital modulation technique in which frequency of the carrier signal varies according to the digital signal changes. That means whenever the digital signal changes of the input, the frequency of the carrier signal also changes. Why it is so? Because carrier signal is responsible to take the input signal to one place to another place. So if the input signal frequency will be high, then there is low chance of modulation of carrier signal. But if the input signal frequency is low, then we have to use high frequency carrier signal, right? Okay. So this is a scheme which is used in your frequency modulation. Generally, we are modulating the frequency, we are enhancing the frequency, we are enlarging the frequency with the help of carrier signal. Okay, fine. So the output of FSK modulated wave is high in the frequency for a binary high input and low in the frequency of binary low input. So it depends, it totally depends upon the input. If the input is low, then its frequency will be low, and if the frequency will be high of the input, then its subsequent frequency will be high as the input signal. Fine. Okay. So the binary, that is 0 1, is also called, that is a mark and space frequency, right? So for 0 1, whenever you are using 0 1 as a binary, so it is also known as mark and space frequency in frequency shift keying. Okay, so the diagrammatic representation of FSK modulated waveform along with its input, that I am going to show in the next slide, right? Okay, fine. So this is the diagrammatical representation. So now earlier, whatever the diagram I was shown to you, that was depending upon the frequency, right? But here the same input symbol is there, right? The same input signal is there, and we are modulating it through by using your frequency shift keying. So whenever you will go for frequency shift keying, the output of this input binary sequence will be in this form. That means whenever this will be 1, this frequency will be propagate high. Whenever it will be 0, it will be low. Again, when it will be high, again the frequency will be high, means propagation will be larger. Again for 0, this will be having higher space. Again for 1, it will be having lower space. What does it mean? It means that whenever the output goes high, sorry, the input signal is high, at that time frequency will propagate per unit time will be larger. Are you getting my point? The symmetry of the frequency will be same, but the propagation of the frequency differs as compared, which will be depending upon your 0 and 1. So let's talk about FSK modulator also. FSK modulator block diagram comprises two oscillators that I will show you in the next slide, right? Because here for modulation of the FSK we are having two oscillator which is having clock and input binary sequence. See, we are having input binary sequence and we are having two oscillators with having different frequency, right? Okay, the two oscillators producing a higher and lower frequency signals. One of them is producing a higher and second one is producing the lower frequency signal, which are connected to a switch along with the internal clock. Okay, fine. To avoid the abrupted phase discontinuous of the output waveform during the transmission of the message, the clock is applied to both the oscillator internally. See, whenever uh, during transmission it may so happen that there may be a discontinuity in the phase. So to avoid certain unpleasant situation, it is the responsibility of clock which is applied on the oscillator internally will avoid through from such type of unpleasant situation. Okay, the binary input sequence is applied to the transmitter so as to choose the frequency according to the binary input. See, it is depending upon the binary input sequence that which of them that I will going to show the block diagram. According to their characteristics of the binary input sequence, the binary input sequence will choose one of the two oscillators for the transmission. So let's take the quick review on these two. See, we are having two frequencies. This is your oscillator 1, this is your oscillator 2. This is having two frequencies. They are having two frequencies. One of them is higher frequency. Say, for example, we have taken two frequency, that is F1 and F2. Maybe they are very much similar to each other, but when we will talk about the bit rate, so the bit rate of Fs will be much higher than your bit rate of Fs will be really very slower than or less than as compared to your F1, right? Okay, fine. And by transmitting the FSK transmitter, the binary input sequence will choose one of these two oscillators and will produce the FSK modulated wave. So let's talk about phase shifting key at last, right? So it is the digital communication modulation technique in which the phase of the carrier signal is changed by the varying sine and cosine input at a particular time. See, whenever you are talking about phase shift keying, at that time we are taking the input signal in the sinusoidal wave, and sinusoidal wave, as we all know, it is in the form of your sine or cosine wave. Okay, this type of technique is widely used in wireless LAN biometric contactless operation along with RFID and Bluetooth communication. So basically, FSK is majorly used in unguided media or space communication, or we can say like wireless communication, right? Okay, so PSK is also having two types as they are depending upon the phases of the signal that they get shifted. Okay, so binary phase shifting key, which is also known as BPSK. Okay, so this is also called two phase PSK. Why two phase PSK? Because binary sequence is having two values, 0 and 1. That is why it is also known as your two phase shifting key, right? In this technique, sine wave carrier takes two phases interval, 0 and 180 degree. One is for 0 and second is for 1. Okay, so BPSK is basically a double-sided band suppressed carrier modulation scheme for the message being for digital information. So basically, this BPSK is used for uh, suppressing the carrier modulation scheme so that larger modulation should not be happen unnecessarily, right? Okay, one important thing under this this type of keying is your quadrature phase shift keying, right? And that is your, in this what we are what are the major angles, what are the major degrees that we are concerned about quadrature phase key modulation is, it may be your 0, 90, 180 or 270. Okay, so if this kind of technique is further extended, right, then PSK can be done by 8 or 16 values, which is also depending upon our requirement. So PSK, the scheme PSK scheme can be extended according to our need, and it may goes to our 8 or 16 values, right? Okay. So let's talk about talking about BPSK modulator. First is your the binary shift keying consists of the balance modulator, which has the carrier sine wave as one input and the binary sequence as the other input. So we can take the balance modulator. That means basically BPSK is used for the balance modulating for these input and output signal, right? Okay. The modulation of BPSK is done using a balance modulator which multiplies the two signals applied at the input. So at the time of the input, we are having two signals that should be multiplied due to this BPSK modulator. So for a zero binary input, the phase will be 0, and for a high input, the phase will be reversal, that is 180 degree, right? As if I have already discussed that there are two phase PSK, 0 is for 0 degree and 1 is for 180 degree. So this is the very good diagram of your BPSK modulator. Here we are having carrier wave generator. As you all know, carrier wave generator is responsible for transmitting the wave from one uh, from input to output, and it is responsible to carry the information that is also known as your baseband signal. So if the baseband signal is low, we have to modulate the carrier wave also. For that we are using the BPSK modulator, and this is the binary sequence data as an input. And lastly, after superimposing of these two signals, so let's talk about summary. First, digital modulation provides more information capacity, high data security, quicker system availability. As if I have already told you, whenever you want to go for a larger amount of data transmission, then you have to opt the digital modulation, right? Okay. So digital modulation technique is having greater demand when large amount of data is to be transmitted from one place to another place. So in that situation, we must opt for digital modulation instead of going for analog modulation technique. Okay. The ask modulator block diagram comprises whatever I have told you earlier. That is, it is having the carrier signal generator, the binary sequence from the message signal, and band limited filter, right? The carrier generator sends a continuous high frequency carrier. So what is the carrier generator? It basically, carrier generator is generating the carrier signal with a high frequency. The binary sequence from the message signal makes the unipolar input either high or low. So in the modulation, in such type of modulation, shift key modulation, so binary sequence which is extracted from the message maybe makes the unipolar input. The input should be unipolar, be whatsoever be the condition, will be whether it is low or high. So if we are talking about binary shift key, it is also known as two phase shift key, which is also known as phase reversal key. Why it is known as phase reversal key? Because 100 once we are taking 0 and once we are taking 180 degree. 0 is basically we are taking for input, low input, and for high input we are taking 180 degree, right? And BPSK is basically double-sided band suppressed carrier modulation scheme, which is used for message being the digital information. So basically, whenever we are talking about digital information, whenever we are concerned about digital information, at that time BPSK is basically used, right? Okay. So these are some good reference books, right? And if you want to go for enhanced learning, you may go for this URL, these three URL. And suppose if you want to go for watching the videos, you may go through these two videos. So thank you once again for watching this video. Have a nice day.